What is up, people? We are back, and today I'm going to do some team analysis. Now, I already did this earlier. Problem is, it ended up being too much of a hassle, so I'm just going to explain it with words from my mouth. No, that sounds weird, but you get what I mean. So let's get into it. Now, for Leicester, I think they actually have a very, very, very slim chance of winning the league. Their main squad is a very big list of big names, but their goalkeeper is what's letting them down. I said this last video, and I will say it forever. Well, until they get a new goalkeeper anyway. But one thing they do have that is amazing is that they have Chiesa. Okay, this is a very promising player, and their most promising, other than their key player Chiesa, is Patson Daka. I was going to put maybe Harvey Barnes or Rashika, but now we're going to go with Daka. I definitely think Chiesa is one of the best signings out of the window, not only for them, but out of the whole league, and I'm predicting them a 9th place finish. Now, Southampton. Now, my odds of them winning the league is very, very slim. But this team is so outdated, by their attacking front anyway. Their defence, they've got some good players. Like, in goal, they've got Sanchez. They've got some good defence, but a very, very old and outdated attack. I was looking at the stats for Theo Walcott earlier, and he had 3 assists out of 26 games last season, and he's still their main man. It's insane. Now, I am predicting them a finish in 13th. Their key player is Kalita Carr, and their most promising definitely is Sanchez, for sure. Now, I didn't end up making one of those page things that I've been using to tell you guys, so this is all my opinion from now on. Now, their key player is Darnell Furlong, I think. But yeah, he's their key player. Now, for me, their most promising player is Muric in goal. And also, it could also be Dyke up front. They're both very promising players. Now, Burnley are back from the Championship. So it's a very, very, very little chance that they're going to win the league. And at this point, I may as well call it impossible. The team just isn't good enough, and they're sitting somewhere near the bottom of the league right now. However, though, I'm going to predict them a 16th place finish. And now for Brentford. Their key player is Guedes. I'm pretty sure he came from Benfica, and now that is an amazing signing for them. What a signing. They have also pulled off an amazing signing in goal. This is amazing. I think Brentford are going to finish high. Now, their chances of winning the league is very small, but not as small as the other teams so far. So yeah, for me, their most promising player is going to be Strakosha in goal. My predicted finish for them is probably going to be 8th, which is decent for a team like them. Everton. They've made a key mistake like Leicester has done. They haven't signed a goalkeeper. Plus, their average squad age is fairly old. However, I will rate the signing of Damsgaard, though. It's an amazing signing. Problem is, though, they're playing players in the wrong position. So, Roy Hodgson, mate, I've got some words with you. They've got some problems down at the club right now. Chances of winning the league, a lot less than Brentford, that's for sure. The team just ain't good enough, in my opinion. And therefore, I think they're going to finish roughly around 14th. Newcastle are really underperforming. They're currently sitting in, 14th? But they do have the class to get far. Now, their team is a bit underwhelming in rating-wise, but they do have a solid team. This season, I'm predicting probably around 8th to 6th. I don't know. By the way, if I do repeat any positions, if I say 14 for one club and say 14 for the other, I do apologise. Now, listen, I'm not completely ruling them out of winning the league, because there's a very, very decent chance they could. I personally think Fulham have done themselves really well. They have foundationed themselves a very strong team, and they've managed to stay in the Prem, and they're doing all right. Now, like I said, they've actually got a fairly strong squad. Now, for me, their key player is definitely Mbabu, but I don't know if I said that right, actually. But for me, their most promising is probably Vinicius or Cantwell. Now, as a Spurs fan, I have seen what Vinicius can do. So for me, I'm a little bit biased towards him. Do I think they're going to win the league? Very slim chance, but you know what? They've actually got a decent chance. But I don't think it's that massive a chance that they're going to tip like Man City or Liverpool to it. My predicted finish for them is probably going to be 9th or 10th. But yeah, I'm not ruling out the whole league for them either. Leeds. Now, Bamford is currently on form. He's one of the top scorers in the league, I'm pretty sure. They have foundationed themselves a very good squad so far. I think they could go places. Their key player currently is Sinestria. I don't know how you say that. Sinistera? I have no clue. But for me, their most promising player is either Aronson or maybe even Meslier. But they have copped themselves a decent squad. Chances of winning the league, though, I don't think is that high. But like they've got a strong-ish squad, so I'm not gonna rule it out for them. Maybe in a few seasons' time, they've got some promising players. I think they probably could eventually. Oh, this is a good one. Crystal Palace. Now their key player is currently Edgeworth, and he's actually 84 rated. This guy is only 25 of years old. Can't speak, but you know what? I think he's got some potential. I think if you signed him, he'd probably go up to around maybe 86, 87 rated. Therefore, I don't think they're going to win the league, but I don't think they're too far off of getting near it. My predicted finish for them, though, is probably going to be around 11th, 12th. I am telling you now, Aston Villa have got themselves a strong squad here. Nearly every single player except for their goalkeeper is over 80 rated. If they didn't have such a crap goalkeeper, I'm telling you now, I'd think they're going for the league. I'm telling you now, in 3 seasons' time, we're probably going to see Villa getting a league win. So for me, I'm saying they're going to finish actually top 6. Okay, that's how strong this team is. Well, that's if they sign a good goalkeeper. If they don't sign a good goalkeeper in the next transfer window, I think the season's out the window. Norwich. These guys always switch between the 2 divisions. They're either promoted from the Championship or relegated from the Premier League. They're always up and down. Their team, for me, is not good enough. I don't think it's going to get them far enough in the Premier League. I think they're probably going to finish in around... I'm telling you now, they're probably going to get relegated again. I'm telling you now, it's like probably 19th. Unless they start making some signings and start selling some players, I don't think they're going to get far. However, though, they've got some promising players. I think Tahev Chong, I think he's going to be their most promising player, and their key player is Masenga. I don't know how you say it. Nottingham Forest. Their key player currently is Jesse Lingard at 86 rated. That's a good player. They even have their hands on Lamptey. I just realised they have Mitrovic as well. I'm telling you now, they're probably going to get 9th. I'm telling you now, they've got a good squad. I think their most promising has got to be maybe Lamptey or Raya. Well, half the Arsenal squad went to Liverpool, so it's surprising to see any left over. Now, they have transformed this team. It's insane. I can only see 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. 4 players that are actually Arsenal players before this season. They must have had one of the most busy transfer windows, that's for sure. Now, their key player is Stefan de Vrij, but for me, I think their most promising has got to be maybe João Felix. It's between João Felix, Ramsdale, or even Smith Rowe. Now, I'm telling you now, they're not doing the greatest so far. They haven't had a great start, but I'm not ruling out the Premier League for them. I think they can still win it. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't know, Liverpool won the season last season. Won the league, that's it. My predicted spot, top 4 for them. Now the winners from last season, Liverpool. With players getting old now like Mo Salah, they're only going to get down in rating. But if they have a good training facility, then they'll stay at their peak. And they won't decline so slowly. However, I think they'll struggle a little bit this season. Although they have one of the strongest teams in the league, there are other teams that are actually improving, and I think they're going to struggle. Because a lot of other teams are investing in the youth, especially my Spurs. I'm investing a lot into the youth. These lot are sticking with the older generation. For me, though, I think they're probably going to get top 3, probably 3rd. Now, their key player is still Van Dijk, but their most promising is probably Luis Diaz. Well, it's a matter of if they even play in the Premier League anymore. With them potentially being relegated, it's a tough one. Although, these lot will definitely contend for the Premier League. They have a strong squad, and I'm pretty sure they only got pipped to the league last season by a little bit. I can't remember. Now, their key player is De Bruyne, but I'm telling you now, their most promising is definitely Erling Haaland. He's only going to improve. I'm telling you now, we're going to see him in 5 seasons' time, 99 rated, playing for some mad team, winning as many trophies as he can. Now, Manchester United. Their key player is Bruno Fernandes, but for me, their most promising has got to be probably Jared Bowen. Nah, it's probably around Rashford, maybe Martinez. Wan-Bissaka has actually been introduced back into the squad. Now, my predicted finish for them is probably 5th. I don't think they're going to get top 4 this season. With the amount of teams bringing new players, competing with more and more like competition this season, I don't think they're going to get top 4. However, though, I'm not ruling away the Premier League for them. Yeah, the league. I'm not ruling away the league from them. West Ham are on a flying start this season. Now, their most promising player is probably got to be Gallagher. Gallagher, that's it. Now, the most key player, though, is Pellegrini. I don't think they're going to get top 4 this season. I think they're going to get 6th. But like I usually say, I'm not ruling away the whole league for them, though. They could still win it. Now for Chelsea. They have some big names injured, such as Aubameyang, James and Alaba. Now, their key player will always be Sterling. But for me, the most promising, it's actually a bit controversial this, but I think Cucurella. I do think they're probably going to get probably top 4 for sure, and maybe they'll win the league. Now here is the almighty Tottenham Hotspur. This is my squad, and this is where I think I'll get. Now for me, the most key player on our squad is probably Kane or Son. That's between them. But I'm telling you now, from my experience, Timothy Weah, the US Wonder Boy, the boy from US, the boy that's eaten chicken tendies, the boy that doesn't call it a pavement, he calls it a sidewalk. It's Timothy Weah. I'm telling you now, he's the most promising player. Where do I think we'll get? Top 4 for sure.